The tiger cub slipped on wet clay and fell. The ground beneath it gave way. An old poacher's pit, hidden under leaves and rainwater. It tumbled in, claws scraping, mud closing over its paws. Above, the mother appeared in a blur of orange and mud. She lunged, teeth catching air, paws tearing at the rim. The hole was too deep. Her cub screamed, thin, desperate, echoing through the forest. The tigress roared, digging and biting until her shoulders bled. The log above her cracked as water poured in. She pressed her nose to the pit's edge and rumbled, low, trembling, too heavy for despair. The cub whimpered, claws reaching through the mud. When the mother stepped back, its cries rose high and broken. The tigress froze, eyes catching the faint light below. She leaned close once more and growled, not in anger but in promise. She would come back. Then she stopped, ears pricked at a distant hum of engines through the rain. She turned, muscles tensing. Not to flee, to call for help. That night, lights cut through the rain, 2 bikes and a jeep. The tigress stepped out, pacing in the beams, growling low, desperate. But the men saw only danger. Engines roared, lights swerved away, and her cries vanished into the storm. By morning, the storm thinned to mist. The patrol jeep crawled through the forest, tires slipping on wet clay. Adam leaned out, scanning for debris. Through the haze ahead, a shape emerged. A tigress stood in the middle of the road, drenched, motionless. Steam rose from her fur. Her eyes were hollow from exhaustion, but they didn't waver. Another false alarm? Someone muttered. Adam shook his head. No. Looks like she's been here a while. The jeep skidded to a halt. The tigress didn't flinch. She just stood, tail twitching, as if she'd been waiting for them all night. There was blood on her flank, not hers, and the paw prints behind her were small, uneven. She's not blocking us, Adam said quietly. She's guiding. Before anyone could stop him, he stepped off the jeep and followed her into the mist. The forest swallowed every sound. Even the rain seemed to hold its breath. Adam followed the tigress through the ferns, boots sinking in mud. Her stripes flared between the trees, bright even in the dim light. Every few steps she looked back, not to threaten, but to be sure he was still there. Adam, stop, the second ranger whispered. She'll turn on you. Adam shook his head. If she wanted me dead, I'd already be gone. Her tail flicked once, a signal. Then she slipped behind a wall of vines. Adam pushed through and froze. The ground dropped into a ravine slick with red clay. Water pooled at the bottom, dark and stinking. In the beam of his flashlight, a cub, half buried, leg caught in wire. Its breaths came fast and shallow. The tigress paced the rim, rumbling low. Old poacher pit, Adam muttered. He tied a rope to a root and climbed down, boots sinking deep. The cub whimpered, eyes wide, paw twisted. Easy, he whispered. I've got you. The wire was buried deep. Each twist made the cub cry out. Above, the tigress snarled, thunder rolling through the pit. Almost there. His fingers slipped. Mud and blood. Then, a sharp snap. The snare broke. Pull, he shouted. The rope strained, lifting the cub toward light. Adam followed, breath ragged, until a hand grabbed his arm and hauled him over the edge. The tigress stood waiting. Rain ran down her face, silvering her fur. The cub whimpered once. She stepped forward, pressed her nose to its ear, and began to lick the wound, slow, steady, tender. Adam lowered his head, heart thudding. She looked at him once, eyes bright through the mist. Then she passed close, close enough for him to feel her breath. It wasn't a warning. It was thanks. It took hours for the backup team to reach them. By the time they arrived, the danger had already passed. The rain had eased, and the forest smelled of wet leaves and clay. Adam sat on a rock near the pit, wiping mud from his hands. His shirt was torn, his boots heavy with muck. A few meters away, the tigress was still there, resting in the shadows with her cub pressed close to her chest. Every few seconds the cub lifted its head, eyes blinking slowly and curiously. No one dared move closer. The entire team stayed back, silent, watching. One ranger whispered, "That was insane. She could have killed you." Adam shook his head. She didn't. She waited. The tigress eventually stood. The cub limped beside her. She turned once toward Adam. Their eyes met, and she blinked, slow and calm. Then she melted back into the trees, her stripes fading into the green. Only after she was gone did the team begin their work. They filled the pit, covering it with logs and clay so it could never trap another animal again. No one spoke much. The forest was quiet now, as if holding its breath. Over the next few days, the cub showed up on the camera traps. It walked beside its mother again, healed, strong, and alive. That was enough for Adam. He didn't need to see her again. But nature has a way of writing its own circles. 3 months later, the monsoon returned, harder this time. The patrol convoy was crossing a low track when the storm hit. Rain hammered down. The road turned to water. The jeep's tires sank into the mud. The engine coughed, then died. "Engine's dead," someone yelled. Lightning flashed. The forest looked like a ghost world, trees half submerged, branches floating past. "Out! Move to higher ground," Adam shouted. They climbed out into waist-deep water. The current was stronger than it looked. It pulled at their legs. One ranger stumbled. Adam grabbed his arm and hauled him up. Then came the sound, deep and rolling through the storm. A roar. Not close. Above them. Everyone froze. "Tiger!" someone shouted. Adam turned toward the ridge. Through sheets of rain, a figure stood outlined by lightning. The tigress. Her fur was soaked, stripes blazing in flashes of white light. Beside her stood the cub, taller now, stronger. She roared again, one short, sharp call. Adam pointed. "That way. Follow her." The team moved. Water rushed around their knees, debris bumping against them. The tigress didn't move far ahead. She stayed visible, leading them up the slope. When they reached the ridge, the current eased. The flood flattened into the valley below. The tigress turned once more. For a moment, her eyes caught the light. Then she slipped into the forest. Adam stood still, soaked and shivering. "She remembered," he said softly. Morning broke soft and gold. Mist curled through the valley, washing the scars of the flood away. Adam stood on the ridge where they'd climbed to safety. The forest was silent, heavy, listening. Then, from deep in the green, came a low growl. Not warning. Not a threat. A voice he remembered. He smiled. "You found us again." The growl faded into the wind, replaced by the rustle of movement, heavy paws shifting through the brush. Adam turned, scanning the trees, but saw only mist and light. Somewhere out there, two shapes moved between the sal trunks, large, steady, and alive. The camera could never find them. But the forest knew. The story wasn't over.